And this is more of a serious topic too, because when it comes to businesses or homes, many people unfortunately are finding themselves behind on their payments, even upside down in their loans, and it's a situation that one of our next guests recently found herself in.
That's right. Karen Gardner-Johnson is joining us along with Jim Sanderson from US Loan Auditors, who can help you find ways to get back on your feet. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen, tell us about the situation that you encountered with your husband. What happened to you?
About 3.5 years ago, my husband and I were out on a date. John Johnson, pretty well known in the Sacramento area in the media. We were leaving the restaurant and I jumped in the car waiting for him. He was standing outside and a man walked up to him and shot his face off, pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was the incident that occurred in Elk Grove right in front of Manzingo's.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So how did this translate into your bad situation with a loan?
Well, it was a very stressful time for me. Because I was there, of course, I experienced a lot of post-traumatic stress. I was under mental counseling and things of that nature. While all of that was going on, I was receiving notices from my lender that my loan was just really going crazy. At that time, a lady that I thought was a friend of mine latched on to me. She was in the lending business and she told me that she could help me out. She would put me in a better position than I was in. My husband had a pretty nice income and that income was just gone overnight.
Well, and these are probably things that you just weren't paying a lot of attention to because you had other things on your mind.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
What a heartbreaking situation. How did you contact U.S. Loan Auditors to try to, get some help during this time?
That's a good question. When I realized what was going on with the mortgage and everything, I contacted a couple of attorneys. They took a look at my loan docs. They were very familiar with what had gone on with my husband and I, and they said, you have a very good case. They said, fraud, negligence, they just went on, but unfortunately I couldn't afford their fees. I couldn't afford it. And so a friend of mine who was a realtor talked me into short selling my home. While that was going on, my mom kept telling me, I don't want you to lose your home. I don't want you to lose your home. You shouldn't have to. You guys have invested so much money into your home. And I went away on a business trip. When I came home, there was a letter on my desk from U.S. Loan Auditors.
Wow.
I opened it up, and when I opened it up, I looked at the information. It said, if you've been a victim of predatory lending, if this, that, and the other, give us a call. Well, I saw the date on it, and that it had passed, it had expired, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to call them anyway. And
Whether
I called
it was luck or fate or whatever.
I believe it was fate.
Yeah, what a wonderful thing for you to,
yes.
to happen to you. Jim, do you see this happening a lot? Is this an extreme case, or do you see this happening to a lot of people?
Her particular facts are extreme, but the situation is played out all over the place, whereas there is some sort of a major setback, tragedy, whatever in the families, and now they're taken advantage of, and lives are just being destroyed with these horrible programs. People are, in fact, we have less people owning houses today than we did in the mid-90s when President Clinton came forward and tried to put together a program that would get everybody into houses. We have actually less today than at that time period. They are saying that probably 50 to 60% of the people are going to lose their houses over the next few years if we don't do something about it. And it's just critical that we step up and start putting a stop to this stuff.
Well, obviously, that's one of the reasons why people should contact you. What are some of the other reasons?
Well, you need to find out what's going on with the loan. We need to hold the people who did this responsible. And not everybody has, sometimes you've got good loans in just a bad economic situation. That may not be for us, but we may be able to help them find somebody else who can help them out of their situation. But most often what we found is that the lenders have placed these people into these horrible situations just so that they can churn these loans over and over again. And when the real estate market crashed, there was no longer equity in the properties to pull it out, so now they're losing their houses over it.
Karen, can you tell us how your federal case is going?
Absolutely. It was as you said, it was definitely fate, because my house was in foreclosure. I was getting notices, I was getting phone calls, I was just so stressed out. And when they contacted me, they took a look at my loan and they says, wow, they said, this is one of the worst loans we have seen. They said, out of the 100 loans we've looked at, this is the second worst. And so I'm like, well, what do we need to do? Well, it was like we were like kind of up against time, because my house was due to be sold off, and actually we started the paperwork going. They actually sold the house, so right now it's in federal court. But the beautiful thing about everything was they were able to stop the phone calls. There were people knocking on my door, there were notices on my door, they were just people, the harassment, all of that stopped.
So would you recommend?
Absolutely, I'm already recommending, and yes, I would recommend. What I did was Shane Barker, one of the founders. We were in the same networking club together, and I was a little skeptical, because I was hearing all the commercials. Be careful about all the scams that are out there. Again, this trusted friend that I thought I had put me in this loan, and so I was nervous. I was really nervous. But when I found out that we were in the same networking club, but I still wanted to do my due diligence. I wanted to check out Jim here, Jim Sanderson, just to find out that he was a reputable attorney and things of that nature. And once I did my due diligence, I talked to my mom. She's like, she even talked to him on his cell phone.
Wow. Got the mom seal of approval.
Yeah, I got the mom seal of approval. And once I got mom seal of approval, she saw them and she says, baby, I know this is a great program. Do it.
Okay.
And we did it.
Karen, we wish you the best of luck. Jim,
Yeah,
thank you
really.
for coming in to share this avenue of help for so many people.
We appreciate it.